Got my
Okay. Let us know.
good.
All right. Hey, punks. What's up? This is RockMental. Thanks for joining us on a kick some ass and have some fun doing it. So I'm going to do a little round of introductions. My name is Chaotic. I'm your resident metalhead, hard rocker. I like everything from Red Hot Chili Peppers to Metallica to Amon Amarth, all that good stuff. And another fun fact, I got ADHD, which means my brain is in 5 different places right now. If I go off on a tangent, that's probably why. So that's who I am. I'm going to kick it over to Mayhem.
Hey, what's everyone? I'm Mayhem. I like what I like. Everything from Lady Gaga to Meshuggah. If it rocks, I like it. Me personally, I live with bipolar disorder, with PTSD, and everything that goes with it. That means I'm pretty grumpy, pretty moody a lot. But it's been a journey. I'm happy to share that with everybody here. Hopefully, I connect with somebody. Head over to Groompy over there.
Afternoon, fellas. Afternoon. So my name is Groompy. Um, I'm here closing out the trio. I would probably be more the emo lover, in your feelings, may cry in a song. Um, your favorite Middle Earth dwarf.
And anything
I
I just said, no.
Okay,
that
Gandalf will punish you guys.
Saw that movie once, bro.
Oh, it's a movie?
It's a book.
Oh, a
I
book.
think we just
I
pissed off a
don't
lot of
read.
people.
um, I myself, it's struggled since tough childhood with depression. Um, so music has really been part of my life that helped me through that battle.
That's what it is. It's a battle, right?
Yes,
It is.
every
And
day.
yeah, so speaking of battles, we here at RockMental feel that the mosh pit is a perfect analogy for life.
Mhm.
It's noisy, it's chaotic. It's there's just people when they're making connections and it's just so loud and crazy and it's beautiful. There's people in there, grown men crying, getting all that energy out.
Yep.
When somebody with special needs comes in, we make room for them. People hit the floor, we pick them up. Sometimes people don't even have a chance to hit the floor because we're so in tune with each other. We want to create a community just like that. And here we've created what we call our mosh pit mentality mantra. We're going to get pretty corny here for a little bit, but hopefully it's corny enough for y'all to remember the next time you're in the pit. So everybody raise your horns, hands across your chest or whatever you want to do, and repeat after us. If you hit the ground, put your hand up. If you see a hand up, put your hand out. Ask, answer. That's how we rage to see another show. Nobody moshes alone. We mean that. Nobody moshes alone.
Yep. And if any one of you has been in a mosh pit or has seen a mosh pit, you know it looks very violent, and that's kind of what life is, right? We're gonna use like Mayhem said, we're gonna use this mosh pit analogy a lot. So bear with us. But I mean, it's the only way to make sense of the world, right? Everyone's crashing into each other. Everyone is trying to find their place, right, in this world and try to rage to try to, get some sort of grounding. But anyone who's been in a mosh pit knows the number one rule. Number one rule that supersedes anything is that if you see someone fall down, you pick them up, no matter what. Because in the mosh pit, there's so much going on. Everyone's, stepping and jumping and doing all these things. There's no time to see who they are. There's no time to like discern like do I know them or do I not. There's no time to like say like oh who do they vote for in the last election or who do they love. There's no time and it doesn't matter. In the end, they just need to get picked up, and that's what our job is. Each and every one of us in this community. That's our job. Watch out for one another, and at the same time, if you need help, if you hit the floor, put your hand up and someone will pick you up. Yep.
All right. That being said, let's go over a little bit of the format of what we're gonna go through today.
Get into
So,
it.
throughout the week, we try to do as much homework as possible, get exposed to as many bands, as much music that we can consume. We do put out uh, daily uh, playlists. Yeah,
Playlist.
that they're themed out. We'll go through that later, but we also try to bring you possibly our best find or our newest find that we really, really enjoy, really love, that we want to give a special shout out to. So we'll be doing that first. We'll go one by one, shouting out our favorite find of the week, and after that, we'll go through our playlist and what we added to this week, kind of give you a rundown and possibly let you guys decide. Like always, that Groompy has the best taste.
We'll see. And just to let you know, also, what we specialize, what we really want to highlight are these smaller bands. We use Spotify for our main music service, and by searching Spotify, we look for bands. We try to highlight bands that have somewhere south of 100,000 listeners.
Mhm.
We really wanted to highlight these bands that have been grinding, they're touring, they're gigging, they're putting out awesome music, and those are why. So you could probably, if you see our table, you see all these bands, or your Metallicas and your Audio Slaves and Incubator, like these big names, and we love them too. They're great, they're awesome. We're probably gonna go see them in tour this year. But we really want to highlight some of the bands that aren't getting as much recognition, and you should, because they kick ass. And so that's kind of what we're going to be highlighting here. So these bands, hopefully you've heard of them. If not, go check them out. Go give them some love. Figure back there is going to tell you what's how you can follow along and what you need to do.
Yeah, so check us out, RockMental official on pretty much every platform. And then also on our website, rockmental.com. We have a bunch of resources there if you need mental health help. We also sell merch. We also have links to our playlists and stuff. So yeah, if you want to check us out, rockmental.com.
We are not mental health professionals. We come up here, talk about our feelers. If you need help from a mental health professional, 988. We also have some resources available to you. Please get some help.
Cool.
Let's get into it.
Do it.
All right, guys.
All right. So me, I'm gonna go first. The winners always go first.
Oldest always goes first.
Oldest.
Ooh, okay. Gauntlet
All
thrown.
right. All right. It's all right.
It's okay. I love you.
It's all right. All right. So did a lot of homework this week. The band that stood out to me the most is actually a band from Brooklyn called Thesaurus Rex. They got 27,000 monthly listeners on Spotify. Their newest single is called I Won't Hold My Breath. Let's go ahead and give it a listen.
I won.
Intro reminds me so much of the Hives.
Yeah, a little bit.
Fans Ferdinand.
France Ferdinand, yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I hear France
Yep.
Ferdinand.
Arctic Monkeys.
Arctic Monkey.
Yep. Yeah, those great British rock bands, right?
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
You guys are speechless.
Yeah, it's really good. I like the syncopation, like the driving riff and the drums going along with it. It's really cool.
Yep.
So I got a confession.
What's that?
This is one of the top bands I had already lined up to be one of my feature bands.
We got to
That's
steal.
too bad. I got to
First,
steal.
right out of the
So-
bat, we got to steal.
Mhm.
I have to give you credit.
Yep.
This is a
Mhm.
great find. This is a great
Yeah.
song. Guys, check him out.
Mr. Producer put one steal in my stat sheets
For now.
for now. So this band, I Won't Hold My Breath, is very cynical. You're gonna notice these guys' lyrics are very cynical, very critical of our society, and it's awesome. This band, if you listen to the lyrics, is very critical of this person that appears to have everything, is very popular, but in the end is just kind of empty and just kind of
Yeah.
faking through life. This kind of reminds me of kind of like the imposter syndrome I get.
Yeah.
In the back of my head, I'm always thinking, like, even right now, I'm thinking like people watching or think I'm an idiot or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
It's just that kind of, I guess, voice in the back of my head I always have, and it just constant. So I found this very entertaining because that's kind of just what goes on all the time when
Yeah.
I'm trying to just live my life.
To your point, like I said, I've been listening to this song a lot.
Mm-hmm.
For me, it's very similar. Going through my life right now, putting on different caps, different
Mhm.
roles.
Mm-hmm.
It just kind of reminds me like, wait, which one am I?
Yeah.
Which one am I? Like,
Yeah, oh, yeah.
really?
Mhm.
Like, are these all just the fake me's, or are these the one
yeah.
that I people to portray? And sometimes you get lost in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially those of us, you can call us neurodivergent, you can call us whatever you want. But those of us who kind of go through life having to put on a mask, right? Like we're trying to mask our ADHD or our bipolar or whatever, disorder we're dealing with, to try to, you know, put on a good face for everyone, whether it's at work, whether it's at home with family, whether it's in social settings, right? And that's so taxing. And like to your point with the imposter syndrome, like it comes up.
Like how we're talking about this while I have a beard, hiding behind my beard and
That's not
glasses.
your real beard.
But I mean, to be fair, it's just like I was mentioning, like maybe I suffer with some confidence or some self issues where I feel like sometimes like, oh, let me put this mask on, and
Yeah.
this is let me get out of there. Let me give me the confidence to
Yeah.
be more outgoing.
And then all of us as parents, like, I
Mhm.
mean, sometimes, you just gotta lay down the law. You gotta
Yeah.
discipline your child, and afterward, thinking, okay, did I go too far,
Yeah.
or was I being fair, or am I just being a dick? Like,
Yeah.
it's
Being a
it's so
hypocrite?
hard being a hypocrite. Like, there's just so
Yeah.
much second guessing in the back of my head that
Yep.
it's hard. But
Yep. Well, not to throw an ADHD tangent, but I think it would be fair to explain the family dynamics that are going on here. So we're brothers. We're brother-in-laws. Figured back there is my nephew. We're all related, but we're all also united in rock because we also share not just familial ties, but mental health journey ties. And so that's kind of what we're here. So
Yep.
that's the dynamic that you're saying.
We're all homies.
there we
We're all
are.
bros. Yeah, we're all bros.
Kiss the homies goodbye sometimes. No?
Let's get on to
anyway.
Anyway, this next song. Oh,
Where's our ADHD tangent?
Yeah.
Where's our ADHD tangent?
yeah. This next song, speaking about time getting out of hand, Wristwatch is another awesome song. We can start from the beginning. Okay.
Very Arctic Monkey.
Yeah.
Kind of like the Kooks.
Oh, yeah?
Dukes. Okay. That's
Taking
that
it
goes, that's the best
back.
came back.
Man, you are old.
I am. I've listened to years of music you've never heard of.
It almost sounds. I know you're gonna hate this because I know you hate ska, but that intro kind of reminded me of like the Mighty Mighty Boss Tones. I pissed him off. He hates ska.
Hate is an understatement.
I'll explain my disdain for ska at a later time.
Like without the horns, okay? You know what I mean? It has that like upbeat melody.
Yeah, it's that upbeat.
That upbeat. You know, whatever.
As long as they don't add horns, I'm good. So this song is about this guy using an analogy of losing his wristwatch through a sewer drain and him trying to reach for it. I'm in middle age now, and I honestly don't know how I got here. I felt like I was 21 a year ago, and now I have kids, a career. I have to worry about like retirement and stuff, and I don't know where the time went. And
Yep.
it's scary. Like, I've gotten scared at how fast time goes. And you know what happens every day? You
Mhm.
wake up it's just one day closer, right?
Yep.
And it's always in the back of your head. And I really kind of connected with this song because it kind of connected with an anxiety I have that's always in the back of my head. I don't know why, maybe PTSD or whatever, but it's always there. And
Mhm.
that's how I connected to this song.
Yeah, it is, and especially those of us, you know, in a certain ruts, or they're stuck to a routine that is a little mundane. Like, it's easy to lose track of time. I mean, to talk about time. I'm ADHD. I'm late all the damn time. And time get. I was late today. Actually, I was early today. You gotta give me credit. I was early today. I was here.
I
before-
was late today.
Yeah, there you go. Okay,
Maybe I have you.
give me a point for being on time. Give me a point. We have a scoreboard.
You don't get a point for being.
Amen. Okay. But you know what I mean? Like
Just to
you
let
said-
you know, the stream started late today, so it was on all of us.
Very true.
Ooh, yeah.
Very
Yeah, a
true.
little technical
Difficulties.
issue though. So
Yeah.
anyway,
I-
ADHD tangent. Okay.
I mean, I give you shit for being older than me, but really, you're not that much older than me. So I mean, I feel you. It's just, before you know it, you're like, whoa,
Yep.
why does
Yeah,
my
yeah.
knee hurt so much?
Exactly.
Or
Exact-
as a dwarf, I should be saying, I'm at
Oh.
the ripe age of 35. I live to 130, so
oh,
I stood
That's
up
a
for
young
the
adult.
analogy.
in dwarf years.
in dwarf years, I
Yeah.
the party's just getting started.
You're hitting your
Alright.
peak.
You're hitting your peak.
I'm hitting my
Dwarf,
peak.
That's right.
All right, so check out the Saurus Rex. They got 2 shows in the New York City area coming up in February. Check out their new single. These 2 songs are just 2 songs that I honestly had a hard time. These guys are awesome. So check them out. We're gonna go ahead and go with 2nd and 3rd place. Groompy, 3rd place.
So, well, the Saurus Rex is an amazing band. I will give them their credit. I had them ready to be featured. I went with someone that I personally feel is, just hit a little bit more.
Mhm.
So this week I'm featuring Matstagram. It's a kind of like a solo project. He has his band with him. From Tucson, Arizona, has less than 60,000 or about 60,000 listeners a month. It's just kind of indie, kind of alternative, but give credit to he it's really pop punkish in your face
Mhm.
as well. And man, this message just delivers.
Yeah.
No, my first song, Tell My Boss, which don't tell my boss. No, I'm kidding. It is a song where we'll start playing it right here, but it is a song that kind of deals with like, being pulled in many different directions.
Yeah.
And it complains about his work. Hope my work's finally gotten better on my end, but still that struggle of feeling all the responsibilities you have, and it's just wearing, like giving out a little slice of yourself to help out here, to be there.
Yep.
To in the end, sometimes you feel like you didn't leave a slice for yourself.
Yep.
So let's listen to Tell My Boss.
Tell my boss I ain't coming to work. Let him piss and moan as all my loved ones lower me in dirt. Give him 10 minutes to cover shifts. I'm in hell with a smirk. Tell my boss that I ain't coming back to work. And when I die, somebody tell my landlord that I'll miss the rent.
Dang.
Give him 10 minutes to cry about how he can't miss the check. He says pick yourself up by the bootstraps, let him fucking vent. Tell my landlord that I'm gonna miss
Dang.
the rent. When
Yeah.
I say that you can pry it from my cold dead hands, I hope you know I mean you literally
Sounds like
can.
a Green Day acoustic song. Kind of.
Yeah.
See, like very
Yeah.
pop punkish in your face, but I mean the message is delivered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My boss, my landlord, my friend. It's just sometimes I try to be a good person. I try to be there for everyone, but
Mhm.
especially lately, this past year was tough for me, and I had to relearn how to leave enough for myself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of lost myself in trying to give a lot to
Mhm.
others.
Yeah.
To be someone for others, and it really hit the point. I've had this song in repeat
Yeah.
the past few weeks.
And then being being a parent and
yeah.
an adult's child to our parents. I mean, anytime something comes up, we're always the first person to get the call.
Yes.
Yeah.
My kid got in a car wreck, who does he call?
Yep.
They got a bad grade at school, who do they
Good
call?
call. That's right.
They get sick, who do they call? Your parents need something, who do they call? And it's kind of like you're always on duty, and
Yeah.
I can kind
Yeah.
of it's stressful, but at the same time, it's like a responsibility that you enjoy. So I mean, I absolutely can relate to
Oh
that.
yeah. And it's like also like, to your point that, you need to take care of yourself. You need to give yourself some time, give yourself some slice. A lot of times, these relationships we have with people, whether they're work or whether they're, like you mentioned, a landlord or things like that, you know, uh, it, they're taxing. They're hard because I mean, this point, tell my boss I'm gonna be late or I'm not gonna show up anymore, like
Because I'm dead.
because I'm dead. And it's hard, but like it's also a good reminder. Like sometimes these people don't have our best interests at heart, and you need to sort of prioritize knowing that, like, you know what, I do deserve an off day. You know what, work's gonna be there. I'm gonna take a mental health day or a free day, or you know what, I'm just gonna play hooky today because I deserve it.
No one's gonna look out for you
Yeah.
better than yourself.
Oh hell yeah.
No one's gonna have your best interests more than yourself.
And that's
Yeah.
advice I give people all the time. Like, only you know what's best for you.
Exactly.
And I think I lose sight of that. I need
Mhm.
time off too. I need time to myself. I need time alone with my wife.
Yeah.
It's
Mhm.
hard to say no sometimes because the people that are asking you for help are the people that you love the most.
Exactly.
And I think we kind of lose sight of ourselves.
Yeah.
You can't lose yourself because the moment you do, how much how will you be able to be helpful for others?
Yeah.
You got to remember, you gotta keep yourself complete as well
Yeah.
to be able to help anyone else.
Yep. For sure.
All right. Good tangent, but let's get to the next song. This is just a fun song. This is the ADHD anthem. Matstagram, I featured you on my Instagram story this morning because I felt productive today. And I had this song on blast while Groompy, scaled mountains this morning.
Oh, literal
all
mountains.
the way from Middle Earth.
I went on a trail run, but but no, really, this next song, it's called "Gotta Be Productive." Again, more in your face pop funk, but let's take a listen to it.
Let's do it.
TV, but it's not productive. Video games are not productive. I wanna get sleep, but it's not productive. I still haven't ate, gotta be productive. Can't have fun, gotta be productive. Crushing reality is not productive. Wait up on mistakes, gotta be productive. Spiraling for days and I wasn't productive.
Okay. If I could describe what ADHD sounds like, this is
That's
it.
it.
This is what my brain tells me all the time.
Every time I'm trying to lock in at something like at work or here at home and I go on a tangent, I'm just gonna add is not productive to what I'm thinking, like my idea. Yeah. Another cup of coffee is not productive.
I mean, it's something we all struggle with, though.
Yeah,
It's
it
just- I know
is.
I struggle with it at work, in my personal life.
Yeah.
Procrastination,
Mhm.
possibly ADHD, and my thoughts just go somewhere else. And before you know it, I'm on a tangent for 30 minutes. It's just,
Dude, we are on a tangent for 30 minutes.
yeah. I mean, I'm sure it's human. It's
Yeah.
human. We all struggle with productivity. We all struggle with being there all,
Yeah,
being on 100% of the time,
exactly.
50% of the time.
Oh, but that's all the conversation that you're having with yourself, though. That you're doing one thing, but you're also telling yourself that's not productive. That's not what I'm supposed to be doing. That's like a daily. Like I know in various jobs, like I feel like I just have to be in front of a computer doing something, right? And it doesn't matter what. I just have to look like I'm working, right?
Yeah.
You just have to look like you're working, but that isn't working. That's not that. But we tell ourselves what's productive, what's not, because of different messages, different things, different feedback we've gotten, and it sucks. And so you get this like internal thought process just like this, and you're screaming at yourself, why are you not doing this? Why aren't you doing that? Why aren't you you know,
And everything accumulates on you at
it
the end.
accumulates.
You're like,
Why
why
can't you-
weren't you productive?
you know, why can't you manage your time better? Why do you slack off so much? Man, why did I go off on that on my, you know, stupid game for 30 minutes when it was only supposed to be a 5 minute? All these things get into your head, and I totally, yeah, that's exactly what my brain sounds like. Unfortunately,
Sorry that I just stole. You might have had to steal, but I stole the win from you. Yes. That was Mastergram. Please check him out. He does have a new single coming out. Believe in his socials, he says January 29th, entitled Caffeine.
caffeine.
I am very interested in listening to that because I love caffeine.
I'm on caffeine right
Yeah,
now.
same here. So check him out on his socials. Check him out on Spotify. He's also will be playing at the Crescent Ballroom in Phoenix, Arizona on the 25th with a host of other bands as a fundraiser for, you know, family and all the people being affected in the LA fires.
Yep.
Massacram, Tucson, Arizona is a 4-hour drive from us.
Come over.
Come on over. You'll have 3 people at your for sure. You know, we'll try to get all our gatherers, all our
Yep.
Groompy lovers to show up as well. But man, please come out here. We'll get in your socials.
Yep.
I'll DM you.
All the trolls from Middle Earth will be
All the
there.
Oh, it's open over there, that's right.
But yeah, no, guys, please go check out Mattstagram. All right, Chaotic, your turn.
Okay, I'm taking us a little on the dark side, which is also the name of the song. See what I did there?
Ooh,
See what
nice.
I did
Yeah,
there?
You've been practicing.
I've been practicing that. I haven't been
Cheater.
practicing.
Mhm.
So
You're thinking about that all week.
I've been thinking about that all
Alright.
week. So my band is called Alibis. This is a really good band. It's headed by Rainey Terrell. She's out of California. She's a classically trained singer and pianist. You're gonna hear a lot of the classical music themes, the melodies, the counter melodies. It is really awesome and it rocks. It's gonna sound dark, and a lot of heavy metal music deals in these dark themes. I mean, we got Glenn Havoc. He's our official mascot. He looks a little demon-like. He's right there too. And there's a lot of that imagery in heavy metal music, right? The demons, the skulls, the skeletons, right? And it's not necessarily representing death. I mean, sometimes it is, but it's also representing like people's dark sides. And to me, this song talks about, you know, how to acknowledge your dark side. Everyone has one. We're all human. You know, it's not sometimes the sunshine and rainbows that we try to portray on the world. Each of us have a dark side. Each of us have a dark spot. There's, you know, decisions we made with regrets. There's bad decisions or horrible things where we've, you know, probably made other people mad or betrayed other people or did things that wasn't cool. And not giving the credence or not giving the excuses, but just acknowledging that the dark side's there. So let's take a listen to Dark Side by Alibis.
I like.
Yeah.
Something today made me relate to all those times I couldn't face, scared of what they always say.
She's just an awesome singer.
Very evanescent.
Like Evanescence, but like the band just
Yeah.
takes it up a scale, you
It's
know?
like rock opera.
Yeah.
There you go.
Igor does the same thing. That I think classically trained singers as
Yeah.
well, right?
Yeah, right there, that chorus, you know, it takes me to the dark side. And let's face it, especially those of us dealing with mental health issues, depression, anxiety, you know, bipolar, I think is a hallmark of that. You know, once you get into that cycle, like you get into the dark side and it's hard to come out of it. And the first thing I think towards, you know, healing and towards that is just acknowledging it's there, you know, and coming to terms with that your dark side is part of you. And you shouldn't ignore it. You shouldn't try to keep it away. Acknowledge it. Know what it feels like, because you're, you know, sometimes you're gonna end up there. So, how you say, something happened that I can relate. those are triggering events. Those are things that remind you of something that can take you to a place that's, kind of dark.
It's like acknowledging your bad habits.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, how are you going to deal with it? How are you going to make it better if you won't even acknowledge it in the first place?
Some people, their dark side is addiction, right?
Yeah.
It's a very common theme, especially nowadays, right?
Yeah. And for me, the music is awesome, and I like the. I guess I don't know how to describe it. You have this beautiful voice with this really dark metal music in the background. You have artists like Echoes and like Violent Vera, but these beautiful voices. But then in the background, there's just a lot going on, and that's, I think, for me, that's how life is. Like everything in my life is beautiful. My family. I mean, I think I'm very lucky. But in the background, there's just so much going on. I think that's a perfect analogy for kind of what we go through sometimes.
Oh yeah, absolutely. The music rocks. Like I said, Rainey Terrell's the lead singer. Alibi is actually a solo project of hers. It started off as just a side gig or side project, and she actually met up with a guitarist named Chris Ferris, who is just as has that same sort of classical approach on musicianship and structure and things like that, and it just kicks ass. And like you said, they don't shy away from some of these dark themes, and it's for us to acknowledge that. And you're absolutely right. Like you mentioned Evanescence. We back, remember in the 2000s, Evanescence came out, and it was just so crazy hearing a melodic classical singer and Amy Lee, and then just hard rock. It's a very good analogy that you put out there, because it's actually that's how it feels sometimes, right? Same thing. I got my family, I got my kids, I got my wife, and everything's awesome. It's just in the undertones, underbelly there. There's some, like they say, like duck, right? The feet's paddling. There's always something going on, and yeah, it's just a good way to acknowledge that.
Yes.
Cool. Going to the second song, my last song from Alibis. This one's called Sellout. So I like to think of it as sort of my neurodivergent ADHD sort of mental health anthem of defiance. This talks about sell out. In the chorus it says, "But they'll sell us out every time. So don't give up don't just give up the cause." I think this goes into how, especially like during COVID, remember like the whole like it's okay to not be okay, and let's take advantage of your mental health. A lot of these messaging are coming from people who don't know what we go through, who aren't, who don't have ADHD or don't suffer from, these actual clinical, illnesses. And so a lot of it comes out hollow because, the same people are saying it's okay to not be okay are the first ones to say, to call you out on it.
If I have to hear about my goddamn bipolar superpowers,
Oh God, I hate that.
that
I
is
hate
so
that.
annoying. Yeah, great. I could pay attention to a bunch of things at the same time, but I also can't sleep.
Yeah.
And my family sometimes have trouble getting along with me because I'm moody.
Yeah.
I don't have superpowers. I'm living with a very serious mental illness that's very hard to control sometimes.
Yeah.
And I think I find that disingenuous. Yeah, you want to make people feel okay, but you can't make people feel okay by telling them that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you have. Oh, you have. This has great. You have like the ability to do all this stuff because your brain doesn't work the way like normal people do.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I find that infuriating because obviously these people don't suffer the same. They don't live with the same conditions that we have.
Exactly. Yeah, let's take a listen. Let's Sell Out by Alibis. Creepy,
I wasn't expecting that.
That is different. Is that like an electric?
Is an illusion devised that keeps us questioning our life. Just let me escape to a realm that's more kind, but they plan to keep me here for life. Another rule to keep me in line.
Mm-hmm.
But you're all sellouts. You sell us out no matter the cost. Centuries.
Yeah. But like I said, like it talks about like they use fear, right? Um, you know, in my sort of experience, in my especially my professional experience in working, I was scared that people were gonna learn, oh, I have ADHD. They were gonna learn that I'm different. They're gonna learn that something happened. So that fear sort of kept me in line. And when it did, when I finally was able to seek help and get an actual official diagnosis, a lot of times people describe, oh, I finally found out what's wrong with me, and it's so whatever. It wasn't for me because I got even more anxious now. I got even more uh you know self-conscious and insecure about me because now I'm like, okay, there's something wrong with me, and people are going to find out. And I think this song kind of really encapsulates like the fear that they put, but they'll also use it against you, right?
Yeah.
I remember there was one instance where I actually disclosed to my former boss in one of my jobs that I do have ADHD, and it was met with the same, you're right, you have superpowers, it's great and it's awesome, but when I messed up, it was always about my ADHD. It's like, no, like, people mess up all the time,
Yeah.
right? We're human. There's nobody perfect, but I became more self-conscious about it because it's that much more elevated. And so I think here, when I heard this song, it's just like, wow, that's the
Yeah.
same sentiment I get. I know we talked about it one time. It's like, the whole "it's okay to not be okay" I freaking hate that. You don't have to have someone's permission to not feel okay. If you don't feel okay, you don't feel okay.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't need anyone's permission, or you don't need anyone saying it's okay for you to feel that way. You feel how you feel, and you should be in a place where you can own it and be free to feel it and not have any judgment or not having one say it's okay to do that.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think for me, it is a little freeing when I was diagnosed, because it's like, now what? Like, I'm ready already for this. I don't want to feel like this anymore.
Yeah.
But then you go into treatment, and then you let your family know, and you talk
Yeah.
about through that. But then you get angry, justifiably angry,
Mm-hmm.
and then you get dismissed. Oh, he's just having a bipolar moment, or he's just moody. And it's you're just getting set up to not be taken seriously, because you have a condition that you live with, and you can't emote normally. You don't get treated normally either way. So that's just kind of how I felt about that.
Exactly.
I liked your point, kind of not wanting to disclose it, that extra anxiety.
Yeah.
I was already talked about it a lot, putting on a mask, and
Yeah. That's
and
what it is.
it's all it is. I know to a lot of people, I am the very have a joke up my sleeve,
Mm-hmm.
ready to make everyone else smile.
Yeah.
A lot of it, guess what? It's just a defense mechanism, so
Yeah.
that way people think I'm always smiling.
Yeah.
It's just I don't want them knowing. I'm afraid of people knowing what I really felt at times.
Yeah. And that's the thing a lot of people don't realize, especially for people that have underlying or even undiagnosed mental disorder. That feeling of something's wrong with me, but I can't let anybody else know. Right? It's so hard, and it weighs on you for such a long time. And so like it's like, to your point, like especially with ADHD gets made fun of all the time, right? The whole squirrel, right? Oh, haha, they get distracted easily, or oh, haha, it's almost a joke. ADHD is not a joke, guys. Like, I've lost multiple jobs because of it. It has real life implications on people, and it's hard to communicate that when society and our culture has sort of not necessarily stigmatized it, but has just made light of it. Like, oh, and people like associate, oh, I have ADHD too. Oh, well, yeah, I'm late sometimes. Like, no, that's not what ADHD is at all.
It's not just getting distracted
Mhm.
or going on a tangent when you're having a conversation, or having a lot of energy out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It's that, but to an extreme that you really can't handle.
Things people don't talk about. Oh, you're distracted, or whatever. But struggling with impulsivity.
Yeah,
Mhm.
exactly.
Struggling with, getting stuck in a moment and not being able to make a decision. It's just
Yeah.
there's so many other implications, and people are like, oh, you get distracted easily. Like,
Oh, how
no,
cute. That's-
no, there's so many other things that
Yeah.
Exactly. Again, we're not mental health professionals. This is our own lived experiences of what we go through. And so, you know, if you feel like, or if you think that you have some of these issues and want to talk to someone, we definitely encourage you, go talk to a mental health professional, go get help, because that's all it's going to give you. It's going to give you that help. You're talking to three guys that are in therapy. Therapy works. It helps. It gives you some grounding and keeps you on your toes and helps you do the work.
who would have thought?
I know.
Therapy works. What do you know?
Therapy works.
Yeah, there you go. Put that hashtag therapy works.
And
You know, I mean, we half joke about it, but it took me well into my adult life to finally try therapy.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, it works.
same thing here. I had a pretty healthy substance abuse problem because I thought I could self-medicate,
Yeah.
handle all these things on my own, and then my world was falling apart because I wasn't taking care of my problems. And the minute I got into treatment, the minute my wife saw some value in me and said, "You need to get some help," and I took it seriously. It's been an incredible journey since. It's still hard, but I can't imagine my life right now without that intervention. And
Yep.
I think you all, if you all feel like you are, you know, going through something you can't describe, or sad or angry, just talk to somebody about it. Talk
Yeah.
to a professional. We got resources for you available.
Yep. rockmental.com/help. If you need immediate assistance, there's resources for you there. If you know someone or a loved one or friend or family member who you think might either be in need help or might even be in crisis, there's information for you there as well. If you need immediate help right now, call 988, call or text. There's multiple ways to get in contact with them. Even if you're not in crisis, if you just need some guidance, need some help, it's a great place to start. So rockmental.com/help, and you can get started there.
All right, let's get back to the fun stuff.
Cool. Yeah, I got dark
Um,
side.
that
I got
wasn't
dark
fun.
Yeah,
side.
I got a little dark there for a minute. So,
I like it.
first off,
Feel the kids.
all you viewers, if you're watching this live or a little bit later, get in the comments. Tell everybody. Tell these two guys that I won. Tell us who your favorite artist of the day was, and I'm gonna go ahead and describe our playlist. So, we listen to a lot of music, and obviously, we wish we could feature all of these bands that we love.
Yep.
And we can't. We have time to pick one, really get in depth about the music, what the music means to us, give you a lot information about the band. But what we decided to do was to create playlists every day where we can, add a song that really connected with us, that we really liked, and share that with you. So we have 5 different playlists, one for each day. We have Morrissey Mondays. Everybody hates Mondays. Everybody hates Morrissey. This is our kind of grungy, kind of angry, get all the energy out kind of music. My artists for this first was Kills Birds. Amazing, amazing band. One song that stuck out for me is I'm Always a Little Behind. Oh man, that's awesome. S.Liz or S period Liz. Amazing singer. Her lyrics are ruthless and I love it. Frog Power. I'm a huge fan of psychedelic music. This takes psychedelic music. Imagine the Grateful Dead on drugs, listening to their own music
On drugs.
on drugs. it's awesome. It's so awesome, but so weird. He covers a Kid Rock song. You have to listen to it. It's genius.
Disclaimer: we are not condoning drug use.
No,
No DR.
not at all.
No.
I'm making fun actually of the amount of LSD that they took. Don't take LSD; it's bad for you. Anyways,
Wouldn't know.
Tuesdays we have Taking Back Tuesdays. This is where we get into a little bit of our feels. We get into some emo. We get into some shoegaze, goth, dark wave, anything that sounds like you're having a bad day. My band, or my artist actually, is Night in Athens. Amazing goth dark wave. I just really enjoyed listening to her. Life in Mono, another amazing band. You've got to check these. And for me, this is a DJ actually who has a side project. I don't
Mm.
know if I'm pronouncing this right. Leav or Leeaav. Um, it's just incredible. Just electronic music with a lot of mood in it. I really enjoy it. We have Rye Girl Wednesday. So, disclaimer, in case you haven't noticed, we are all three male. We are all three men, and we don't know shit about Rye Girl music. um, honestly, we listen to something, all female bands, all just awesome, really
Mhm.
aggressive, and hopefully one day we'll meet a content creator, a woman that's specializes in this kind of music, can really bring a different perspective about this. But
Yep.
for now,
Please help us.
yeah, please help. For now, we're just gonna add the songs of all female artists or all female bands. For me, it was the Coat Hangers. They're a little bit older. I've been listening to them for a while. I really enjoy them. A lot of great energy. The next is Flailing Idiots. Oh my god, just listen. That is Rock Girl Wednesday. We have Take Out the Thrash Thursday, and this is for our metal heads. This is where we put every high energy band that we can. There's growling and barking and screaming and squealing. Anything above 120 beats a minute, this is where you're gonna find it.
If you understand the term bleh,
Mhm.
this for you.
So my band is Patriarch. They are somewhere from like near Russia. I've didn't really get a chance to research too much. The imagery in their music videos is incredible. Their songs are incredible. We were jamming to them before this
Kind of crazy.
the
Yeah.
show. They're amazing. And finally, we got Feel Good Friday. Any song that's upbeat, getting ready for the weekend, getting ready for that show that you're gonna go see. It's just good, happy music. My first artist is Soft Palms. This is actually a side project of one of the artists from the Coat Hangers. She and her husband actually make this music and described it as wanting people to receive a brain hug. You guys, my brain was fucking hugged. It was awesome. Uh, it is such light music, but there's so much depth to it. I can't describe it. You have to listen to it. It really brightened my day. It really took a really bad moment in one of my days and just kind of turned it around. The next one, Luke Haney. If you like artists like Roar, got like a really cool retro sound.
That's cool.
Kind of psychedelic. He's got some incredible music out there. Honestly, just way too small. This guy needs to be out there.
Yep.
And last, Teens in Trouble. It's like Beach House but good. This girl sings. I'm just kidding, Beach House. I really enjoy it. I actually have a few of your records.
There you go.
I'm teasing. This girl though gets that kind of really light poppy music like Beach House and just makes it very personal.
Mhm.
I really enjoyed it. Check it out. She's pretty incredible. So what did the two second and third place?
Okay. I will admit my homework wasn't extensive enough, and I should have done more. But I added a few bands. So in the Morrissey Mondays, I had a band called Accused. They have a song called Never Enough. It's Accused, by the way, all caps in a V instead of a U for those looking on Spotify. This is a really kick-ass song. It's angry, it's aggressive, and it is about like not feeling enough. Sometimes, especially on Mondays, you're just like, oh, I gotta give another week. Oh, here comes another thing. Like it's hard. So it's a really kick-ass song. So I encourage you to do that. So for Taking Back Tuesday, I got a band called Human Eyes. I actually showed Groompy the other day. These guys are really cool. They have like a yellow card feel to them, like a little bit harder guitar than normal emo bands. They have a song called The Pill. It's really good. Check them out. Really awesome. Or actually, I had Alibis. I cheated. I had my band I featured today on my Ride Girl Wednesday because I know we talked about all female bands, but technically Alibi started off as Rainy Terrell's side project. I'm going on a technicality. We kind of make our own rules, so deal with it.
We're gonna have to check with the lawyers on that.
No. So there's the Alibis is on my and I did feature Sell Out on that playlist. So Thrash Thursday, I put two artists in there. The first one's Lockjaw. These are the band out of Dallas Fort Worth. They were kick ass. If you like Avenged Sevenfold or Bullet for My Valentine, these guys are for you. They're really good. And another artist named Gus DeFelice, I believe is I pronounce his name. It's a solo guy. He mixes a lot of different music together. It's instrumental, but it's really awesome. So go check him out. And then on Friday, this is a band I came up with recently. I showed you guys. They're called Stone Soup. They're out of England. Imagine if Elvis Presley had a metal band accompanying him. Okay, it's
really
you've heard rockabilly. This is metal billy. They got a harmonica and it still rocks. Okay, it's a song called Alebiophobia or something like that. It's the irrational fear of palindromes. Words that are spelled the same way backwards. It's basically all about like getting scared is kind of dumb. Fear is what are you scared for? And it kind of gives you a good weight, and it's kind of rockabilly, like you kind of bop along to it. It's really cool. So those are my meager additions. I will do better next week, I promise.
All right, third place.
I believe my homework was not as extensive either. Especially when I saw all the songs over here Mayhem added. Oh, overachiever.
Hyper
No.
focus.
No, I added about a band per playlist. So I'll do more extensive and try to take the cup next week. But I do want to highlight the ones I did. Morrissey Monday, which Gen Zers, Morrissey, lead singer of the Smiths, General, just sucks guy.
Just read.
Yeah.
Just do your research. You'll see.
I went with a very Smiths sounding band, kind of post punk.
Okay.
Trader Home.
Okay.
Not a lot of listeners. Very Smiths like and very depressive and just oh my gosh, why does this day suck? Kind of. But it was good for the playlist. Trader Home. Actually from the when I was doing a little research on them, and actually from the 1970s, so they're an actually older band.
Okay.
But very good music. So yeah, go check them out. Taking Back Tuesday. That's my area expertise, if you'd like to say. I try to feature two older bands from my day. Late 2000s, early 2010s. That kind of in the up and up again. Nostalgia's kicking in, so they're trying to gather their followers again. So I wanted to kind of put them give them a little bit of a shout out, as you say. One of my all-time favorite bands, The Fall of Troy. They will be in town at the Lowbrow Place in May, so people check them out.
The three people will be there.
These three people will be there.
Yeah.
Follow Troy, which could have easily, I thought about putting them on Thrash Thursday. They could very easily be in Thrash Thursday as well.
They jump genres. It's all in one song.
Hey,
Kind of crazy.
it's over 120 beats per minute.
Yeah, way. Really good.
A lot of screaming, but really good band that exemplifies that post-hardcore, emo days at its peak. Another one is a Aesthetic Lullaby, something that I just had on repeat as well during high school, college. Very sounds like a Sparta from here in El Paso.
Okay,
Tim
yeah,
Ward.
there you go.
It's very much alike.
Yeah.
Riot Grove Wednesday. I went with two person bands, two girl band. No drums, guys.
Okay.
Yep.
So it's just the guitarist and the bassist, Pacifica.
Okay.
Pacifica.
I think I might have listened to a few
Oh,
songs.
do we get another
Oh,
steal?
no.
No, not a
not
steal.
yet, not
No,
yet.
I said I've listened to them before,
Oh,
not in my
okay,
research.
okay.
for the
Very,
show, yeah.
very good band, guys.
They are.
it's part of my playlist of my daily playlist now.
Mhm.
There you go.
Pacifica. Go ahead and check them out. Again, it's a two-girl band. Right. You know, they kind of paired up together and they've been creating some badass music. Uh, Thursday, I didn't actually add a Thrasher song, so
Incomplete.
yes, accountability. I
C minus.
yeah, I know.
Boom.
I lacked it. Sorry, guys.
Put that on the stat sheet, please.
Boom.
But to make it up, I put the best Fun Friday band
All right, what you got?
by far.
What you got?
Name of the band, Super Cassette.
Mm.
Really fun band.
Cassette.
Very fun lyrics. It's I don't know. You were talking about a brain hug earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Super Cassette. It's a brain hug.
Yeah.
I do not want to go too much into depth because it's think about it as a hook. It may be the band that I'm featuring next week.
Ooh, interesting.
Yes,
Okay,
yes,
okay,
but go ahead and look at the playlist. I won't give away the title. You guys will know. You guys will know which
Yep.
one's Groompy's.
Yep. You can find all these playlists if you look up on Spotify, RockMental Official, right there. Thank you, Mr. Producer. Look us up on Spotify. You can find all our playlists there. Follow it, see what you think, and we'll keep adding those as we go through and actually do our homework. And let us know what you think.
Yeah, and get in those comments. Let us know that. Let these guys know that I won, obviously. But if you got artists that you want to share, get in the comments. Put a link up there. I'm not sure if we'll be able to get to all of them, but you all out there, our mosh pit community.
Yep.
I mean, just take a listen.
Yep. Hey, if you like it, cool. Give them a follow, buy their merch, show them some love. If you don't like
Yes.
them,
If it's not for you,
cool. Then don't listen.
Yep.
Easy.
Easy. We're gonna stay positive, right?
That's right.
Yes.
Cool.
All right. So now that we've gone through the music, the actual business parts,
Yes.
we kind of go into like a music current events type of discussion. So we have a couple of topics that we're going to talk about. Our producer Figured's going to have a couple of questions.
Yep.
So whenever you all are ready.
Cool. We'll call it the "What's Happening" section, and of what's what's happening in the world of rock or what's happening in pop culture. So we're gonna start off with. I know you guys. It was a very big story in rock about the revelations of Dave Grohl's affair, right? In which he actually fathered a child with his mistress. It was very public. It was out there, and it struck a chord. Like Dave Grohl's very much respected, very much loved, very important figure in rock music, right?
Oh, yeah.
Not just for Nirvana and Foo Fighters, but his contributions to like Queens of the Stone Age and just a lot of the collaborations.
Just a lot of collaborations.
He's an amazing musician to start, right?
Lead figure in the industry.
Exactly, amazing guy. And from what I've never met Dave Grohl, but really nice guy. I think what the biggest thing that came from me is like, first off, not justifying his actions. He messed up. He messed up bad, and that is one thing that's probably going to be really hard for him to work through with him and his family. What I want to highlight though is the manner in which he handled it, right? So instead of letting the tabloids, right, and the story get out of hand, he recorded a video where he publicly apologized to his family, his wife, his fans, right, and kind of just told the story as fact. This is what happened. I messed up. This is what's going on. And to me, what lesson I took from that is just the accountability that he took from himself, right? Holding himself accountable, holding himself to that higher level, knowing that he's such a public figure. That's huge. That is huge because a lot of us would not take that same accountability. It's not necessarily in our, human nature almost nowadays that, take accountability for actions. We try to make some sort of excuse. And I think especially in our neurodivergent community or, mental illness, we kind of use our our illnesses or disorders, whatever you want to call them, our stuff as an excuse. Oh, I'm late again. Oh, I'm ADHD, you know? And a lot of times it's easy for us to not take accountability and try to use it as an excuse. So I think for those of us who do have these things, it's important that yes, you want to be sensitive, you want to help people understand what you're going through, but you also need a level of accountability in yourself, right?
Yeah. I mean, first off, this whole issue is none of our goddamn business.
Nope.
He's handling his business. Let him handle it in peace. But what he did is something that a lot of us men need to do, is just hold ourselves
Yeah.
accountable and just admit when we screwed up. First off, Dave Grohl is an amazing person. Just from what I've heard and how artists talk about him, just how incredible he is. I'm not going to call infidelity a mistake. It's not. These are a series of choices that you make.
Yeah.
But these choices don't change the contributions he's made to rock music.
Yeah.
He didn't commit a crime against anybody. He didn't violate anybody. This was all consensual. And he admitted that publicly, which is something that not a lot of men
Nope.
would do.
Nope.
There's plenty of artists, we won't bring them up, who we learn about their infidelity because their wife got locked up because they attacked them after learning about it. Or, all of a sudden having a child show up that looks like you. I think what he did was really show how we handle our mistakes.
Yeah.
And again, infidelity is not a mistake. It's a series of choices.
Yeah.
But he admitted to it. And I think admitting that you were wrong is the first step to accountability. You cannot have accountability without admitting that you made a mistake.
Yeah.
And I think he showed that. But we, as people who are fans of his, have a responsibility as well. Just let him handle this in peace.
Yeah.
This is one thing that I hate about the media, is it's always about the story,
Yeah.
always about the sensationalism,
The clicks.
the clicks. And you know what? He got ahead of that. He said, I don't want my family
Yeah.
to have to deal with that. And for that, I admire Dave Grohl. He did something very bad to his family.
Yeah.
He's dealing with that right now. He has a child on the way. And it's a very complicated situation for him. So let's leave him alone.
Yep.
Let's just celebrate his music, what he's contributed to the community. His
Yep.
his family life is his family life. Let's leave that
Exactly.
alone.
You know what? It's just the accountability part that we're talking about. We're all human.
Yeah.
We're all gonna make mistakes. Infidelity, stealing, just not treating people that you nice.
Yeah.
Or
Even
we're all
li-
human.
lying.
We're all gonna make a mistake.
Yeah.
I guess as you grow older, Dave Grohl, showed his matureness or showed his,
Yeah.
as you grow older, being able to say, hey, I fucked up.
Mhm.
It was something, rounding back, therapy to
Mhm.
not just realize the things I'm responsible for, but how it affects others.
Yeah.
It's a very big step to, it's on the other person, whoever you were ever wrong,
Yeah.
to forgive you or to, that's their choice. But the biggest step is holding yourself accountable.
Yeah. And it goes beyond like looking yourself in the mirror and saying, "Oh, it's your fault. Oh, you did this. You're a bad person." Or not beating yourself up, but like taking it a step further and actually making it known to the person that you transgressed against and say, "I need to tell you something. I did something bad. I apologize for it, and I'm going to try to get help for it." That's another thing. And that's the kind of accountability we're talking about. Of course, not everything is huge and blow it up or not going to be in the papers or anything, but there's going to be certain points in our lives, and it's again not because we're terrible people, it's just we're human and we're going to mess up. Guess what? Breaking news, you're going to mess up. But what we want to do is encourage to show yourself the kind of love that Dave Grohl showed himself, the kind of grace, but also the accountability and knowing that he's owning up to it. and we should also own up to our own transgressions. So that was my little spiel for today.
Grimmy's got something for us.
Yes,
Alright.
there was some news surrounding one of my favorite bands of all time, Taking Back Sunday, this
Mhm.
past week. Great band I grew up with. It's just part of my emo background, part of my moody teenager background. Um, so their drummer, who has been with the band for 25 years, you know, just integral part of the band, decided to leave Taking Back Sunday this past week, and citing he has been working these past few years really hard on his sobriety, and he didn't feel like he was being supported in that by as he put it in his Instagram post, by people he thought as brothers. Um, you know, I can't I don't want to judge anyone.
Yep.
Everyone goes through their problems, everyone goes through their deals
Yeah.
at their own pace, at their own speed. They deal with it however they want, but I have seen videos of Taking Back Sunday playing recently in recent years. And yeah, you can definitely see there's certain people in the band that are struggling with sobriety.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate for Mark O'Connell to have to take this drastic step. 25 years.
Long
This
time.
is all he's known.
Yeah.
To be fair, this is um for him to have that strength to say, I need to leave all I've known. I need to leave probably what's brought me the most joy in my life.
Yep.
Probably, not just the other band members that are like family, but also fans,
Yeah.
which he probably doesn't have anything he has without his fans, and have the strength to say, I have to leave for my own good.
Yeah.
It's a very, very sobering moment. I mean, to
Yeah.
excuse the
Yeah.
word, it's a very humbling moment to
Yeah.
come to a realization like that.
Yeah.
Good for him. I
Yeah.
I encourage him. He did say he will be coming out with a solo project. I will be listening.
All right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Same
We all
here.
But
will.
it's tough. It's really tough, and I applaud him for that, because not a lot of people
Nope.
would
Yeah.
leave.
I mean, you guys saw me struggle with
Mm.
substance abuse. I mean, my drinking was out of control for
Yeah.
a long time, and one thing that I had to learn was it was not just me, it was the people I associated with.
Yeah.
And I
Mhm.
lost a ton of friends when I decided to get sober and stay sober. They still call me to this day
Mhm.
whenever they're in town. I'm like, I can't. I just
Yeah.
can't. I've built this life outside of substance abuse that I'm not going to jeopardize.
Yep.
And I absolutely can relate. It is one of the hardest things to do, to be with. I've lost friends that I had for 10, 15 years because I needed to prioritize my
Yep.
sobriety. And it's a hard decision to make, but it's also a hard decision to keep,
Yeah.
because that those temptations to go
Yes.
back,
Mhm.
the first time you get angry or the first time you have a stressful day, is so hard. All those triggers that trigger that behavior,
Yep.
so hard. And the worst thing, the thing that I hate about substance abuse, about addiction the most, is that you do good for a while and you relapse harder
Yeah.
than it was before. And it is a journey. And I really admire Mr. O'Connor. I love Taking Back Sunday. I
Yeah.
like him. I think I have all the CDs somewhere. Um, and I wish him luck with not just his sobriety, but with his future projects. I can absolutely relate to what he's going through and the decision that.
Yeah. And it's easy for us as fans to be like, "Oh, what the fuck? It was Take It Back Sunday. They're awesome. What the
What a
hell?
wuss.
Come on!" Like, it's easy for us to stand back, but to hear the story and to kind of get the understanding and Groupie, how you explained it, like, it's absolutely right. Like, sometimes the people who you think are the most important, the most influential in life are the ones that actually bringing you down. And as hard of a decision as it must have been for Mark, like sometimes that's the decision you have to make for your own good, for your own health, not just mental health, but just health in general, right? And so kudos to him. Like hats off. We respect him for it, and that's another lesson that we can learn. Sometimes there was I was looking, there's a clothing company that I follow, and they have a really awesome sign. It says, some bridges are meant to be burned, and it gets you so right, because there's some bridges that you need to let burn, you need to let go of, that people in your life that don't have your best interests at heart, or are triggering the very things that you're trying to get away from, and those are like to your point, that you just need to cut that off and progress in your own journey. So yeah, very relevant.
I think our producer has a question for us.
So yeah, in 2024, piracy has reached 17 billion visits. Piracy sites. How do you think this affects small music artists and the incentive to make music a career?
Ooh.
Dang.
So somebody who never used like LimeWire and Napster when I was younger, I can, so I think this is kind of just a not small, this is actually a big issue, but this is just a part of a larger problem, which is just how the music industry treats artists.
Yeah.
Artists don't get paid a lot unless you're really popular.
Yeah.
And it's the smaller artists, in my opinion, that put out the best music. So, you have people here, like we have our local venue here that has small bands. We go all the time. And that's where we really enjoy. Piracy sites, I have a problem with on two things. First off, music you should be able to listen to. But at the same time, we need to figure out how to get these artists paid, because the music that they put out should be their livelihood.
Yeah.
Yes.
So how do we do that as fans, though?
Yeah.
As I think we as fans have a responsibility to support bands like the ones that we're featuring today.
Yeah.
And there's ways to support bands. I mean, small bands like this thrive on merch. Get on their sites, buy their
Exactly.
merch. That's probably the best way to get that money directly to them.
Yep.
But for them to make a livelihood off their music takes so much.
Yeah.
On one hand, you have the Drake. He makes millions of dollars a year just on contracts from his music. But
The
then you have
Drake,
artists
the
like
Drake.
these who have full-time jobs. Right? What was that?
The Drake.
The Drake.
Yes, the Drake. I call him the Drake.
Sorry.
That's for a lot of reasons I'll describe later.
Tangent.
Hashtag the Drake.
Hashtag the Drake. I mean, he is probably the most popular artist that we've had in a decade. And he makes millions of dollars. I mean, he's suing his own label for millions of dollars. Yet we have artists here who have to work full-time jobs, multiple jobs, just to survive and, grace the world with their art. And I think we as fans have a responsibility for that. If you were to go onto one of these piracy sites and download a Drake song, is that really going to do anything to him? No, he gets his money from his record label. But if you get one of these bands, a small band trying to get some traction out there, and you're taking that from a piracy site, I mean, I think there's a spectrum, I guess, of morality here. Like, it's not as bad when you do it. And I think I heard Dr. Dre say once that, you're taking food out of my kid's mouth. I was like, dude, you're Dr. Dre. But I get where he's coming from.
Yeah.
And Metallica also had the thing. Lars Ulrich just went to Congress, right, and was talking about that. I mean, they have a very valid reason to be angry. At the same time, they're multi-millionaires.
Yeah.
I mean, I get your point,
Mhm.
but I mean, it should be those people at the top who, who will pick up the fight for the smaller ones.
Yeah.
I think they have some level of responsibility
Yeah.
Oh no, I agree.
to
The music label
take the fight.
absolutely have a responsibility here. It shouldn't be Lars Ulrich and Dr. Dre going before Congress. we should hold these record labels accountable, because
Very
how
true.
are these sites getting
Yeah.
these files? I mean, granted, yeah, you have people out there, bad actors that can create them, but
Yeah.
what are they doing?
Exactly.
Nothing.
And it's a lot. I know a lot of us older folk, can think of the bootleg days, right? Especially like in the 80s and 90s, right? Somebody tapes a concert and starts copying and copying and copying and then starts selling them. And like, that's one thing. This is like times a million because,
billion.
because, we just said reach 17 billion visits. That's 17 billion cassettes. Do you think somebody in the thrash metal scene in San Francisco in 1980s can put out 17 billion cassettes? No, this is completely different scale. But like, to your point, it's a double-edged sword because like, for if you ask some of these smaller bands, they're going to say, yeah, we just want to get our music out in the world. We want to impact people's lives and we want to reach people with our art. But, they're putting in the work. They're the ones, a lot of times I think we get jaded as fans because we hear a song like, oh, that's a really cool song. It's really cool. And, we hear talk about it. But, a band spent hours, hundreds of hours putting that together, recording it, re-recording it, mixing, producing, coming up with it. Oh, that sounds like
Perfecting.
shit. Let's record it again. That the amount of time and skill and labor it puts into creating a song is just as uh you know just as intense and just as impactful as like our full-time jobs. And so I think there's a way to honor that, not just by listens, not just kind of saying, because I think a lot of people say that go on these piracy sites, oh, I just like the music, I just I want to appreciate them. That's fine, but to your point, yeah, absolutely, there should be a way to compensate these artists because that's they created something and they should be compensated for it.
Yeah, small or large. So I think my point was piracy affects artists differently. Large
Yeah.
artists aren't as impacted as a smaller artist, but it really should be the labels in the industry taking this on. It shouldn't
Yeah.
be the artists themselves. The labels we let off easy.
Yeah.
And I don't know why.
You know what? I'm gonna bring it back to our points. Accountability.
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 I'm sure there's many of you that have pirated music, and I'm sure there's many of you that say, "I love this song. I love this artist so much." You know, Groompy is gonna give you a mission right here. Put your foot where your mouth's at. You love them so much. Go to the website. Get some merch.
Mm-hmm.
Support them.
Yep.
And also
Just-
put your money where.
Oh
Money
yeah,
where your
my
mouth
bad.
is.
Money
Yes.
with your mouth is.
There it is.
Mhm.
Hashtag groupie.
Yep.
Groupie.
Groupieism of the day.
Groupieism. There is.
Exactly.
But yes, I mean, um, if you love them so much, if I don't know how music's been for me,
Yeah.
influential, life altering.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go ahead and I'll go to the merch store. I'll
Yep.
get the vinyl. I'll get the T-shirt.
Yeah.
You got to be able to support these.
Oh yeah.
We're out here talking to you about these small bands and letting you know where they'll be
Mhm.
playing, letting you know where the new singles coming, giving you their socials.
Yep.
Mhm.
You love them so much too.
Yep.
Go ahead and support them.
Yep.
If
I was saying, remember, like, even if you go watch these small bands at the hole in the wall bar, they charge $10 cover to get in. The bands probably don't get a cent of that $10.
Mhm.
Just because you see them in a concert or they're at a venue somewhere, it doesn't necessarily mean they get a decent cut. Like, that's why we like our local venue here because they do right by the artists. But that's not the case at all
Mhm.
places. So yeah, go support them, go watch them, go tag them on your Instagrams or whatnot. But take it that one step further. It's Groupie's point. Go buy the merch. Go buy the T-shirt. Go buy the sticker because that's money in their pockets, and it's just one more thing to help them continue to create the music.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you go to a show, most of us go for the headliner. I mean, no secret. But those opening acts also have to eat.
Yeah.
I mean, if they got their merch there, just buy a T-shirt.
Yeah.
I mean, you're buying 2 T-shirts or 3 T-shirts or whatever. You're already buying stuff. You're
Yeah.
helping this band out more than you're helping that opening act.
Yep.
And those, I think, we went to a concert and one of the bands, Margaritas Perdidas, awesome band from Mexico. Check them out. They had literally a sign just need money for weed. And I'm like, and I'm like,
How can you deny
I
that?
bought 2 shirts and gave him a tip.
There it
And I was
is.
like, man, get your weed.
There you go.
But these bands struggle, and even though they're on tours with larger bands, that money doesn't necessarily trickle down.
Yep.
So we as consumers of this music, if you enjoy their music, buy a t-shirt,
Yeah.
buy a record. If you have the money to go to a show, you have the money. If you have the
Yeah.
money to buy the merch of the opening band, you have money
Yeah.
to buy that. And granted, not all of us have that kind of money. We just show up and we can buy what we can. Great.
Exactly.
But if you can afford to buy a $30 t-shirt, that $30 means the world to that small
Yeah.
band.
That is literally food.
That
That
is
is food.
literally
Yeah, that is
food
food for them.
Exactly.
and weed.
And I mean, if you're at a bars, you're gonna spend what, $7 a pop on a beer and a Bud Light. You know,
Mm-hmm.
Ew.
it's gonna last you. Now you're gonna enjoy it. You're gonna enjoy that shirt for a long time because you're gonna have that memento. Man, I remember seeing this band. They were awesome at the bar. Remember we went? Yeah. Now they're headlining. You know, whatever tour. It's always a good
Mhm.
good time to see that.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Hey guys, we did mention a couple of times our local venue that we like to visit a lot. I do want to bring out. I visited our local venue last week and got to see part 4 of Battle of the Bands here in
There
El
you go.
Paso.
There you go.
So just a quick shout out. I went to go see one band in particular that I have a lot of mutual friends with. End up falling in love with like 4 other bands.
There it is.
So a quick shout out, Soul Parade, Saving Bandit, Nevermind. Can't remember all the other bands, but I do just want to give you guys a shout out. It was a great show, man. It was a fun time.
Yep. And we're gonna figure out a way to feature more local artists here,
Mhm.
from the El Paso area. I mean, there's great bands that have come out of here at the drive-in, the Mars Volta, Sparta.
Sparta.
There's a few bands going on tour right now. I
Mhm.
mean, there's just a lot of great music out there, and this is what the mosh pit mentality is about.
Yeah.
Is to get some support behind these people, get their music out there, and hopefully you all enjoy the music as well.
Yep.
So I think we're towards the end. I think this last part of the show is where we kind of say goodbye for now. You can expect a new recording or a new live stream every week.
Think so. We'll keep commenting even though we're not live. Hook us up on their DMs, or what do the kids say? Slide into our DMs or something.
I think that's sexual in nature. Yeah.
Well, whatever you do to contact us on our
Slide into our
Instagrams,
DMs.
at
Don't slide
RockMental.
into our DMs.
Please do not slide. There's no sliding
Mhm.
allowed. At RockMental Official on the Instagrams, on the Facebooks or whatnot. Let us know what you think. And if there's a band that you like, or you have a band and you want us to give you a listen, do that. Or rockmental.com is also a contact us page. If you like what you hear, if you think we're full of shit, whatever,
Mhm.
give us, send us one over, and we'll do that.
We might be full of shit, so just let us know.
We are.
I'll take accountability and say
We are.
that sometimes I'm full of shit.
All right, and
I
rockmental.com, you can find some resources there. If you're in crisis, if you know somebody in crisis, dial 988 right now.
Mhm.
Save somebody's life. Honestly, I've lost a lot of friends to suicide, and it hurts to talk about. 988, help somebody.
Yeah.
Get some help for yourself. This is what accountability is, and this is what our mantra is about.
Exactly.
Ask, answer. This is how we live to see another show.
That's right.
Nobody here moshes alone, and that's the community that we want to build.
That's right. And if you know if you know someone who might be fall into addiction or depression, emotional distress, or maybe even contemplating suicide and just not sure where to start. First off, we want to tell you, yes, it is absolutely your right and responsibility as that person's friend or loved one to take action and intervene. I think there's a big sort of stigma or sort of like, well, that's not my business or that's not my place. It is absolutely your place. And we encourage you to take that action. You can also call 988. They also have resources for people who you want to help to have that conversation, where to start. Even, what you can do now to help prepare for that conversation. We also have on rockmental.com/help. We have resources some warning signs if you think or you're not sure, someone's going through something. There's some tips that you can check out there as well. We're a community. We're all in this together, and we want to make sure that everyone feels loved and supported, because just like in the mosh pit, someone falls down, we pick them back up. No questions asked. And there's no judgment, only love and support.
All right, guys.
Hey.
I think we got through our first episode.
Yeah.
All in one piece.
All in one piece.
All right.
Remember the main message.
Second place, third place.
We'll see.
No. Main message.
We'll see.
Oh,
It's
what's
okay to kiss the homies goodbye.
That's okay. Anyways,
No?
thank you all for joining Rock Mental. I'm Chaotic.
Mayhem.
Groompy.
We'll catch you all next week. We'll post up this episode on rockmental.com. Give us a comment, show them some love, and we'll keep going.
Ask your homies for permission to kiss them.
Yes, consent
Thank you.
is a real
Consent
thing.
is important.
Please,
Thank
yes,
you.
let's do that.
Okay.
Cool.